I push back on her a little bit, but everything she says makes a lot of sense. Judith Kane is Canada's money coach. And you know what? The conversations we have, Judith, are exactly what I need to hear.
Right.
I'm just, if I've got it, I'll spend it. I'm tap happy. I'm blissfully unaware. Like I said earlier this week, the whole idea of the debit card, tap card thing, to me, it's like a password. It accepted it. I agree to these terms. I haven't read them, but I agree to these terms. And, overdraft, et cetera. And you fall for these things. It's not in my best interest, pardon the pun, interest. But where are we going after so many great conversations this week? How do we wrap things up on this Friday?
We're going to talk about being mindful about your spending on vacations.
What's a vacation, Judith?
Well, it's interesting. I'm going to say something about weddings because we've had a conversation about weddings before. Yeah. One of the things that happened during the pandemic is that people stopped having destination weddings. In fact, people stopped having big, giant, expensive weddings. People found that they could actually have a very simple, meaningful wedding without having 200 people and a bunch of showers and, get-togethers, which are usually held to pay for the big, huge wedding. Yep. And so I think people are rethinking how they're looking at vacations and things like destination weddings. Because here's the thing about a destination wedding. It's a fantastic idea. And in the old days, destination weddings were put in place as usually second marriages. So you would go on a cruise and you would get the captain to marry you. This was your second marriage. You go on a cruise and you get the captain to marry you on board. Or you would go down to a Caribbean island, you'd go to a resort and you might go with your best friends. And because it's a beautiful place and there's lots of flowers and you can usually find somebody to, marry you, you would have a little wedding down there. And then I think what happened was the resorts realized that this was big business. And so all of a sudden a destination wedding is now just as expensive as having a wedding in town. But here's the thing that you're doing. And I know that this is a special day for everybody. I had a wedding. It's a special day for everybody. But by having a destination wedding, you're forcing your loved ones to spend a lot of money doing something that they may not want to do in a place that they may not want to go. So, and spending money that they may not necessarily have.
The first thought I have every single time I hear about somebody doing that, it's like, not everyone has $3,000 to go to your choice of destination. Like Hawaii sounds wonderful, but if it's not on my bucket list and I've been saving and saving and saving because I want to go to
Costa Rica,
sure, whatever, Bermuda. Well, now all of a sudden, like I'm going to feel bad if I don't go to your wedding, and I'm willing to make a sacrifice or two for a friend, but at what cost, right?
Right. Yep. So that was just one thing I wanted to say is that I've noticed that, a lot of people are rethinking what it means, what their wedding means.
It's a very romantic idea. But when you sit and you think about all the people that you want to have there, not everyone can do that.
No. And if your idea is to have your loved ones with you, then it makes more sense to spend less money. Honestly, one of the best weddings I went to was held outside at a farm, which they had rented, but it was a potluck. So everybody brought food, and it was one of the best weddings I've been to.
You told us about that one. It was sort of international. There were a lot of people from other cultures there. Yeah.
So anyway, vacations. So when you're going on vacation, I think the important thing is to not go overboard. See what I did there?
That's usually my line.
Right. So decide how much you're willing to spend on your vacation and then see if you can find a vacation that fits in within that budget, as opposed to saying, hey, we'd like to go to X Caribbean island. What's the cheapest that we can get there? So you're letting your money control you instead of you controlling your money. So instead, if you said, we have $3,000, we can go to a Caribbean island, then you can plug that information into the computer and say, where can I go for two of us for $3,000?
Sure.
So it's a different way. It's kind of turning it on its head and saying, I'm controlling my money. I don't want to spend any more than $3,000. And
you're kind of picking your own adventure too, then, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
And don't forget those very expensive excursions. So if your budget is $3,000 and you want to go to some place like, I don't know, Dominican or Cuba that does have excursions where they'll take you on a trip and show you to Havana or take you to a rum factory, those things are very expensive. So if you think that you want to do those things, investigate them before you go and decide, am I going to fit all of that into my $3,000 budget, or am I willing to spend another $200 or whatever it is because I want to go and see these places? Same with a cruise. When you get on a cruise and they have multiple stops, when you know, they're going to try and sell you on some of those excursions as you get off that ship.
Imagine, yes.
So really think about what a vacation is going to cost you. And then you have to also think about the things that you're going to spend when you're on vacation. So let's say that you're doing what we're doing and you're doing a RV trip, a camping trip. Well, if you're doing a camping trip and you've got kids, are there amusement places that you want to go visit? Maybe Canada's Wonderland or maybe someplace like that. Make sure that you've built that into your budget and said, okay, we are going to spend this much on campgrounds, we're going to spend this much on gas, and we're going to spend this much on entertainment. And it could be mini pot, it could be going to Canada's Wonderland, it could be that you're going to a more expensive campground that actually has those things on site and it's more expensive, but then you don't have to spend the money on entertainment.
Wow. There's really a lot to think about.
There is.
It's such common sense. We're so grateful for you, Judith. What a great week of conversations. And a reminder to folks, sign your donor card.
Yes, please. Sign your donor cards. We've been talking about this all week. My sweet friend Dave is not well and needs a kidney transplant. So he was telling us about how many people in Canada need, and the United States need, are looking for organ donors. So please sign your card, and also please tell your friends and family that you are a donor.
It's such an important gift. And you know what? I mean, people will have their belief system, whatever else. To me, it's no good to me once I'm gone. So if you can use it, what a legacy. Judith, thank you for that. And thank you for another great week of conversations. If people have questions, comments, how do they find you?
If you need help creating a mindful discussion about your money, email me. I might give you some tips. You can reach me at judith@judithkane.com.
You're amazing. Thank you, Judith Kane.